Namaste everyone. Welcome to our European Yoga Festival. It is a part of 28th Annual World Yoga Festival and the 7th International Day of Yoga celebrations. It's my great pleasure and honor to be part of you and doing a joint venture. Here I like to congratulate Swami Suryananda Saraswati, Mahamandaleshwar Amadio Bianchi, Mahamandaleshwar Emi Blasio, Gayatri Devi, and Divya Prabha Madaji, and Anna Slovakia ji, and Sugadev ji from Germany, and our great translator Amelia Devi ji, and all other students and faculties from the Amity University, Value Community's board members and supporters, advisors, those who are viewing on social media. It is my great pleasure to welcome everyone. Namaste, namaste, namaste. This is a global community to bring yoga to the world for harmony and peace. Here I want to invite Amadia Bianchi. You are a great being with me last over 15 years. I want to mention that one. We met in Argentina in 2005. That day onwards, you and Amy are part of my yoga family. We always have a great time. Nothing else to talk more than this, So I like to bring Amelia Devi to show the video clip, please.
Okay.
On the right side, there's a expanding.
Okay, better now?
Yeah.
Yoga Federation was founded 15 years ago. Since then, our motto is unity in diversity. Please listen to the main key points.
Connect, bringing together European yoga teachers and establishing delegates and representatives for each country, considering the social differences in various countries and support the needs, equality, regardless of gender, origin, sexual orientation, social class, and religion, overcoming dogmatism, fundamentalism to promote universal understanding.
Bye.
Promote, encouraging a yogic lifestyle and a holistic approach to life as a tool for physical and mental wellness, a more spiritually elevated, peaceful, happy, and physically fit society.
Integrate and unify, integrating science and the art of yogic living, modern knowledges with ancient wisdoms for betterment of the world and global development. Recognizing, accepting, and integrating the many different paths that lead to the same final goal, making sure that yoga will maintain its original purpose. Namaste.
Provide study of secular knowledge, philosophy, and ancient text, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutra, and Veda. Study of techniques, modern developments in teaching techniques, incorporating scientific findings in medicine, psychology, etc. To guarantee a certain standard, an established graduation system to provide a minimum standard for yoga teachers training.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Io
Maestro.
ringrazio veramente tanto il nostro caro Dileepji, che lui stava dicendo che abbiamo condiviso 25 anni di percorso insieme. Traduci pure.
Now, I first of all to thank dear Guru Dileepji. As he was saying before, we've been sharing this long path together for over 25 years.
Abbiamo fatto davvero tante e tante cose in momenti in cui lo yoga non era così conosciuto, non era così diffuso, e noi ci siamo così messi a diffondere nel mondo questa cultura.
And we've been on the path since all this great knowledge of yoga was not very much well known. And we've been sharing difficulties and struggles together in order to bring yoga where it is today.
Io pensavo di essere molto attivo, tutte le persone mi dicono che io sono molto attivo, dove trovo tutta questa energia, ma io mi domando dove la trova Dileepji che fa una volta e mezzo quello che faccio io.
Many people ask to me, where do you find all this energy? Where is all this energy coming from? You do so many things, so much work. But as a matter of fact, I must say, where Dileepji finds his own energy, as he works much more than me, about 1.5 more than I do.
Vi do un'idea di che impegno e che attività di Dileep. Pensate che 2 giorni fa gli ho spedito una fotografia praticamente negli Stati Uniti erano le 3:15 e lui mi ha risposto subito che voleva dire che stava ancora lavorando per tutti noi.
Just to let you have an idea, just a few days ago, for instance, I sent a photograph to Guruji, to Dileepji. And I must say that in Italy was a certain time, but in New York was approximately 3:15 a.m. in the morning. And he was still awake and he answered to me right away.
Comunque grazie davvero, perché siamo uniti. Lui ha parlato di famiglia, davvero io, lui ed Amy, che ci conosciamo da tanto tempo, siamo proprio uniti, come se fossimo una famiglia.
I must say and admit that whatever the words that Guru Dileepji said before, that Amiji, he, Dileepji, and myself, we are truly our family.
Quindi siamo felicissimi di trovarci qui, di condividere con lui questa festività che dovrebbe durare un giorno, ma lui ha messo insieme quasi un mese di attività.
And we are really happy and honored to be here today to celebrate a festival that should last just one day, but he was able and he managed to create a program that lasted for approximately 30 days. Maestro, io ti sto perdendo, non so se sono io.
Procedi tu.
Ok.
Mi senti di nuovo? Benissimo.
Adesso ti sento, sì, scusami.
Il problema di connessione. Ok. Volevo dire una cosa. Mi piacerebbe aprire questo nostro incontro di oggi.
So I'm very happy to open this big event today.
Ricordandovi una cosa molto importante, che purtroppo la gente, diciamo, anche dell'ambiente se la dimentica.
Reminding a few things very important that sometimes even nowadays people are forgetting.
Il 1° dicembre del 2016.
The first December 2016.
Ok, l'UNESCO riunitasi in Etiopia,
UNESCO united himself in Ethiopia.
i 24 membri del comitato intergovernativo si sono riuniti ad Addis Abeba, in Etiopia, e hanno dichiarato lo yoga patrimonio dell'umanità.
The 24 members of the committee of the UNESCO, the organization of the United Nations, united themselves in Addis Abeba, and they decided at the unanimity.
Io vi leggo il tweet che ho ricevuto alle 22:51 del 1° dicembre 2016.
I now would like to read you the tweet that I received on the 1st of December 2016 at 10:51 p.m.
Mentre avevano riconosciuto all'unanimità lo yoga patrimonio orale ed immateriale dell'umanità,
while they've been recognized the yoga a patrimony of the oral tradition for the total global humanity,
aveva aggiunto queste parole che in questo momento non sono più che mai importanti per noi.
at that moment they added these few words that are so much important for us today.
Designato per aiutare gli individui a realizzare se stessi.
Designed to help individuals to build self-realization.
Alleviare le sofferenze che questi possono sperimentare nella vita e anche aiutarli a raggiungere uno stato di liberazione.
Ease any suffering they may be experiencing and allow a state of liberation.
Lo yoga è praticato da giovani e anziani senza discriminazione di genere, classe o religione.
Yoga is practiced by the young and the old without discriminating against gender, class, or religion.
Esso associa posizioni, respirazione controllata, meditazione, recitazione di parole e altre tecniche mirate a beneficiare l'individuo e il suo stato di salute psicofisica.
It associates the positions, respiration, meditation, the recitation of words and other techniques that are aimed to beneficial for the individual and is on state of health, psychophysical health.
Grazie. Sono felice adesso di cedere la parola a Amy Blesio per il suo intervento e vorrei pregare Sara per cortesia di dirci chi è Amy Blesio e dare il titolo della sua conferenza.
So now I'm very happy and honored to introduce Amy Blesio. I request Sarah to introduce her. Please, Sarah.
I'm really pleased to introduce Amy Blesio. She's the Swami Yatri Devi. Is the Yoga Paripurna Schoolmaster and UPF Ambassador for Peace. She's recognized the honoris causa doctorate by Techno India University and elected advisor of the same university. Her experience in yoga discipline and India culture dated since 1965. Even she already was very interested in the culture and philosophy of India. In 2010, she received the Gandhi Simplicity Award of the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial, New Delhi. Amy Blesio is a partner of the Women International Network Award for Peace and Non-Violence and a member forever of the World Peace Development Research Foundation, OIDA, in India. Please, yes, please, Amy, can you please talk to us about the Yoga Paripurna, how to raise the immune system? Thank you so much.
Thank you for this presentation. Surprised me. Okay, thank you. Thank you to Dileepji for inviting me. And today I would like to speak about one part of yoga, the Surya Namaskar. About Surya Namaskar because we are nearby the day of the solstice of the summer, where there is the sun that is principal meaning, that mean knowledge, and also the light for the mind. So today the Surya Namaskar that I propose here is part of about 15 sequences that I have codified in about 50 years. Each sequence is a sadhana that has an intense spiritual content, opens the mind to a very deep awareness. And it has the same effect on the whole body. In the Surya Namaskar, the rhythmic exercises include the different postures which follow one another, linked together by a motivated design. Each position confirms the previous one and consolidates the following one. A methodical, constant exercise, in addition to balancing the body, it also acts on the mind, thus transforming simple posture into an accumulation of energy and psychical, physical, spiritual well-being. It is as a meditation in movement. Immobility is just the opposite of motion. Only by experiencing both can we understand their essence. Correct breathing and correct sadhana are two winning habits. In ancient time, these practices were imprisoned in initiatory and esoteric transmission. With the advent of this expansion of this science in the Western world, they lost in part their esotericism and spread exoterically, thanks to the spiritual part of many researchers who, with dedication and generosity, brought them to the attention of a wider audience. Many still remain secret or initiated, but those I have described in my book are practicable by almost everyone. There are some very physical and others more intimate, suitable for the different characteristics and the purposes of each one. Mostly the sequence called Surya Namaskara, are performed by facing east and preferably at dawn. This is this optimal method to more fully store strength, to tune this organism with the cosmic energy of the sun and enter the joy and harmony of creation. The classic sequences are Rishikesh, Aruna, and Vedic. And new sequences have been added, created by the experience of gurus of the last few centuries. Well executed Surya Namaskara are able to tune the body with the cosmic energy. This is why particular attention is paid to breathing linked to the harmony of movement in practice. Now we see a sequence that is not classic, but equally very effective, that is part of a group that I have codified in 50 years of experience. Surya Namaskar Sankranti. Sankranti is the passage in the sky of the sun from east to west. It trains the balance, listens and strengthens the muscular system and controls the breath. Sankranti, which is also the name of a month, describes the parable that the sun makes in the sky, passing from east to the west. Vision of duality and opposites, east and west. And already here is reveals this ambivalence of his power. Sun and shade, light and absence of light, darkness. The sun is the symbol of light, or of life. It determines spiritual life and the potential of the individual. Knowledge, soul, intelligence, discernment, it shows our intimate aspiration, symbolize values, the law, the rule. But on the other hand, he has the shadow, the darkness, which are this opposite, but also an integral part of him. The sun show how and where he shine and indulge in the shadow. It is our mirror. Its ambivalence is synonymous with completeness, perfection, light and shadow. There is no shadow without light. It teaches us to use and transcend the shadow, to shine. Its ambivalence is synonymous with completeness, perfection. Understanding the ambivalence of the sun, our own ambivalence, allows us to see, to understand the meaning of our life and consequently of life itself. This ambivalence is the symbol of the search for the human being, is the two that becomes the one, which has no second. Now, while I am reciting a stotram of the sun, you can observe the practice of Surya Nagara Sankranti. Hari Om. This is a video.
Amy, per caso è il video che avevi messo su YouTube?
No, the video is
Okay.
Dileepji. Okay. Adideva namastubhyam prasida mama bhaskara divakara namastubhyam prabhakara namostute saptahashvara darudam Sarvaloka Pitamaham Mahapaparam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Trigunam Cha Mahasuram Pramavishnu Maheshwaram Mahapaparam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham. Vishvavesham Vishvakartaram Mahateja Paripanam Mahapaparam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Shri Vishnu Jagatam Nadam Jnana Vijnana Mokshadam Mahapaparam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Sapta Ashvaradharudam Prachandam Kashyapatmajam Shvetapadma Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Pramitam Teja Punam Cha Vayumakhasameva Cha Prabhuštvam Sarvalokanam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Padunga Vatu Pushpa Sankaram Arakundala Bhushitam Ekachakra Dharma Devam Tam Suryam Paramamyaham Adideva Namastubhyam Sarvaloka Pitamaham Mahapaparam Devam Tam Suryam Paramamyaham Mahapapara Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Mahapapara Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Om Shanti Shanti Shanti Shanti Om.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear Amy Blasio, Gayatri Devi. Thank you. Wonderful presentation. Now I request Jadranko Miklec from Croatia. Please, Jadranko, Sarah, please tell us who Jadranko is.
Hi, I'm really pleased to introduce Jadranko Miklic, representative of Croatia for the European Yoga Federation. He's a yoga and Ayurveda therapist, teacher of transcendental meditation and Maharishi Vedic science, and a president of Institute for Yoga and Ayurveda, Sun. Mr. Jadranko has wrote about 6 books about yoga. Also, he has experience with the application of yoga and Ayurveda to sport, like tennis, futsal, diving, judo, volley, and all the sorts. And he's here to actually talk us about yoga and sports. Please, let's speak to Mr. Jadranko.
Yes, thank you very much, dear Sarah, and many greetings to everybody present, and Guruji, Dileepji, and
Thank you, welcome.
And everybody, and Amadio, and Emmy. And I'm very happy to say a few words on this occasion. Actually, the topic was about yoga, but about anything we speak about yoga anyway. And any field of life is related to yoga. And we know Maharishi Patanjali gave us this perspective, the holistic perspective of the levels of the life which we are living, from our relation with our environment, and what are some basic principles how to live in harmony with the intelligence, with the cosmic intelligence, which is guiding life of the whole universe, how to live in tune with that intelligence. and he is giving some qualities of that level of life, from where that intelligence is governing whole life. And these qualities is expressed as the qualities of Yama. So we can say these 5 qualities of Yama are the 5 qualities of the absolute level of life, or being, or that source of life. And so also all angas of the Veda are the parts of the body of yoga. Angas of yoga, it's the parts of the body of yoga, and yoga is samadhi. Yoga is that holistic consciousness, that universal level of life, that being. So we can find the all these limbs present in the state of the being as the qualities of the being. For example, the asana also we can find as being the position of the self within itself. When the self within itself is taking different positions, then the manifestation and creation starts. And this is symbolically expressed by the dance of Shiva, Shiva Nataraja. The Shiva represents that silence of that absolute level of life. And when that silence becomes conscious of itself, becomes conscious of its own existence, then it becomes vibrant, becomes creative, and starts its own dance within itself. So all aspects of the teaching of Maharishi Patanjali in all the sutras, what he is expressing is telling the story of the life on the absolute level of life. Not only on that level, but also in the relative field of life and in all levels. And we know from the Vedic science that we have these 3 basic values of the state of absolute, or samhita, as Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. So Rishi as the pure subject or Purusha value, or that value of the Sat. And then Devata as the value of which connects subject with the object. This is that dynamic value of the and intelligence value of the pure consciousness, which is able to cognize. And this is value of the Chit. And this is the Devata value of the Samhita. And then the Chandas value of the Samhita is that object, the pure consciousness as its own object, and that value is Ananda. So then everything in life is structured with these 3 values. Also, when we appreciate yoga and all the texts, all the teachings about yoga, then they have the same laws, the same intelligence is structuring the level of the life on the absolute level of life, on the physical level of life, and on that we can say astral level of life. These 3 levels of the life, Bhur, Bhuva, Suvaha. And that's why sometimes we can gain such a big resource of the knowledge from the sutras of Maharishi Patanjali, in giving interpretation of the sutra and the meaning of the sutra according to the Rishi concept. And then according to Devata and according to the Chandas concept. So like the sutra related to the asana, Sthira Sukha Asana, means on the physical level of life, means that your body, you assume certain position in which you will feel stable and comfortably seated. It means you are achieving psychophysical integration and stability and comfort in the certain position. But on the Rishi value, you can see that this asana means being properly positioned in your own self, on the level of your own consciousness. That individual consciousness is established, sthira, in universal consciousness. So that's why there is such a great richness of that knowledge. And looking from all perspectives, from all levels, and from the teaching of Sankhya and Yoga and Ayurveda, we are always coming to one and the same conclusion, that all that knowledge is teaching us one most important thing, and this is to gain self-realization. And this is the main and the only solution for the suffering in life. This is the final medicine which can cure any form of suffering. And this is also Sankhya speaking about dukkha traya, and then all possible sources of suffering which we can experience in our life, and what is the solution. And then Maharishi Kapila says, realize the Purusha value. And this is the solution for the suffering. Maharishi Patanjali says the same. Tada drashtu svarupe avasthanam. Become established in your true reality, self-realization. And this is the sign of health. Swastha, Swarupe Avasthanam. Swa means holistic, everything. In Croatian language, we say sve. Sve and swa, it's, in the Sanskrit, this is the same. It means that wholeness of life, to be established in that. This is the sign of health. And from Ayurveda also, they speak about the same. So then, what we are trying to find out is which is the way and what is the way how we can go beyond all different activities of our consciousness with which we are identified. And there are many ways to start our journey from different angles, from, for example, from the 7 different instruments of our perception through which we are perceiving the world, and we are active through them. There are the 5 senses, and also manas and buddhi. So from these 7 different angles, we can start our journey to find ourselves. And we can also see that from where we can start our journey, from different states of consciousness in which we can be present. We can be present in a state of waking state of consciousness, Jagrat, then in the Swapna, the dreaming, and Nidra, deep sleep, or we can Turiyatita, the 5th state or cosmic consciousness. Also, we can continue our journey to reach that level of Purusha or transcendence. And and also our consciousness is influenced by the qualities of the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And when you see possible influences, you will find 4 possible influences of the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas on our consciousness. Then when you see the 4 influences of the gunas and the 4 levels of consciousness from where you can start, and 7 possible instruments through which you can transcend, then you come to the number of 112 when you multiply all these things. And this is from Vijnana Bhairava, very ancient teaching of Lord Shiva, the methods for transcending, the methods how to realize the nature of Bhairava, or the transcendental value of life, or Purusha, or our own self. And this is taking care of all the people, whatever level of consciousness you are, whatever instrument you use, and under whatever influence your consciousness is of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, you are able to use some of the principle and go beyond and transcend. So the great masters, they are preserving this knowledge for us to be used. And that's why it is just important to have proper guidance and do the practice. And then on that basis, we gain our own experience and our own understanding of our experience, and then find that our experience is in tune with the experience of ancient rishis. That's why they gave us also their records of their own experiences, so that we can verify that we are on a proper path. And the yoga is so systematic and precise in all the practices and all the verification of our development towards the goal of our life, that we can say it's perfect science. And just we need to follow its sequential application. And that's why today we have teaching of yoga related to many different requests from the people for the therapy, yoga therapy, those who have some health problems, then for spiritual practice, then for recreation, for fitness. And so we need to see and adjust to the person, the way of the teaching and which methods is for best for him at that moment in his life, according to his health or his interest. That's why sometimes, for example, you will find some yogic practices are described in a different way, the same practice, and the method of breathing and everything, but you need to realize for which purpose that practice is meant. If it's for the health, it will have another value. If it's for spiritual practice, the technique will be upside down, opposite. For example, if you do you want to normalize the vayu, functions of the vayu in your body related to breathing. So you want to normalize the function prana vayu moving upwards and apana vayu downwards to support the normal healthy function of your body. Then you have another way of breathing by your will that you support proper direction of vayus, vayu shuddhi. But if you want to go to spiritual experience, you need to oppose the function of the vayus. You need to move apana vayu upwards and prana vayu downwards. So then the method of breathing is opposite, it's totally different. So, but people who have already problem with the function of apana vayu, if you give them the technique of mula bandha and everything, they will disturb even more the function of apana vayu. So that's why we need to know the practice for the health, what is our health condition, then take the appropriate practice to improve health condition. And then the spiritual practice is just for the healthy people. These methods, these techniques with the bandhas, mudras, and other practices. Otherwise, it will be everything mess and people will have problem. But yoga is very systematic and has a proper guidance from the masters. So thank you very much. It's in that short time, I just wanted to express some of these ideas. Thank you.
Jadranko Mikles from Croatia. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Jadranko. Thank you so much, Jadranko.
Thank you.
Maria, I want to add something. A lot of times, so many courses around the world how to raise the Kundalini, and all end up in the hospital. I'm glad Yogacharya Jadranko mentioned very clearly how to practice, take care of each practice. That's why in the ancient time, we never teach everybody. When they are ready, masters will teach them. I'm so glad you mentioned that point. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Dileepji. Thank you. Now I request from Slovakia, Anna Galovikova. And Sarah, please tell us who Anna Galovikova from Slovakia is, please.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to introduce Anna. She's been running yoga for the last years. She's a founder and chairman of Slovakia Indian Friendship Society and coordinator of the training for the of relaxation and stress management training, and the team responsible for implementing Preventing Health Project and Restart Project during the pandemic COVID-19. Anna Galovikova, she's a chairman of Slovakia Anti-Poverty Network and executive coordinator. She's co-founder and chairman of Parliament Wars Religion in Slovakia. Please, let's speak Anna Galovikova about yoga yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thank you.
dear masters, dear yoga followers, Guruji, Amadio Bianchi, dear friends, I am very happy to share with you some ideas and some visions. In June, we will celebrate, or we already celebrate also 7th International Day of Yoga. And as we know, 21st of June, since 21st of June, every day is a longer day, more light, and shorter nights, less darkness. The ancient time guru meant or mean a teacher who bring us from or guide us from the darkness of ignorance to the lightness of wisdom. So we know that yoga was very close with wisdom. There were, we know, since ancient time, of course, also mental lineage, not only genetic lineage from parents to newborn children through body contact, but mental lineage, past transmission of enlightenment from guru to his disciples. Such first transmission of enlightenment happened in the Kashmir cave, Himalaya cave, Amarnath. I was blessed one to visit this cave, and it is very high, 4,000 meters above sea level, and very cold, frozen with glass. But we saw there two birds flying, living. Cave Amarnath, Lord Shiva, father of yoga, father for psychologists, and father of meditation, first time transmitted enlightenment to his disciple Parvati. As we recognized, and it was told also today, that in the past people practiced yoga. It was chosen, disciples were chosen by their gurus, as was mentioned by Guruji. When a disciple was prepared, Guru appeared. And that time, main focus why somebody practiced yoga was enlightened, and gurus were enlightened one. This wisdom was very important because till today we have four main questions. And one of these we also mentioned, who am I? Second, where I come from on the planet Earth. Third, sense of life, why I am here, what is mission of my life. And fourth main question, where I go after my death. So these answers need mental and spiritual development that we can answer these questions. And today, as was also mentioned by Branko, motivation is various, and many people motivated to practice yoga, various motivation. What we can tell that one person can change motivation. Motivation is not fixed. It means at the beginning, somebody could practice yoga because of weight reduction. Later, the same person could practice yoga and plus healthy diet, vegetarian diet, and so on. Later, the same person can change motivation and practice yoga because of mental and personal development. And finally, somebody could even today practice because of enlightenment. Why this enlightenment is not the main topic as it was in the past? Answer is because today our approach to yoga is rational, and also people and situation and the condition of our life another as it was in the past, especially in India. I will not speak about pollution of environment, of nature, destroyed nature, and other factors which influence situation. What I would like to tell that even today there is some traditional yoga schools and lineages, and we should be thankful to all masters and gurujis and teachers who follow and brought this wisdom, kept this wisdom till today. And I would like also mention lineage of yoga in daily life, lineage of Mahaprabhuji, Swami Maheshwaranandaji, and it is lineage of Kapila Muni from Himalaya, 5th, 6th century before Christ. And this lineage, Kapila Muni is author of Sri Guna, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, as also was mentioned. What is today also very important, and it was mentioned also in my biography, that especially in Slovakia, in my town, Piešťany, a well-known spa town, we, since 1985, practicing yoga with doctors, nurses, patients, as physiotherapy, as yoga therapy. And yoga and health today during pandemic situation is very important, and it is key for all of us, not only who practice yoga. We observed last year that especially our friends and our yoga followers who practice yoga many years with us. So thanks God we are healthy, and that's why it's very important that to be aware that immune system is very close with mental peace and mind purification. When our mind is not polluted by toxin emotions, toxin thoughts, and depression and anxiety and fear, so easier we can keep immune system in good condition. Of course, movement. So I am very happy that always in European Yoga Federation speakers are very practical and show us also practical asanas, because praxis is very important, and physical movement and physical work today miss. So we are sitting and too much behind computer, especially during pandemic. So it is very good. Future. We can tell that we now create future of yoga, and it's good to be aware that ancestors and gurus, rishis, seers, prophets, they prepared yoga not only for our ancestor, but also they visualize future. They visualize us and next generations, and so yoga was created also for us. And now is time, especially during lockdown, pandemic, we can tell limits that we cannot so much move, so much travel, we stay home majority time, slower our movement, so we can dedicate this time, and we can do better progress, also not only change motivation deeper and deeper, as was mentioned before me. And it is very good catch chance, and we World Yoga Federation, European Yoga Federation, we are here to help other people that they have a benefit from yoga, good health, and promote and be more and more satisfied and more using mental capacity. It is also very important that is a very nice relation between other religions, because practice yoga for hobby, for sport, for free time activities, wonderful and nice, but practice yoga for enlightenment, to reach top standard of mental, physical and social health is very important, especially as it was already mentioned in 2014, when Yoga International Day of Yoga was approved by United Nations. Also the same day was approved Declaration 69 above 131, and it is declaration that every human has human right to catch or to have or to receive and to have a top standard of physical, mental and spiritual health. So future I visualize, as many of us, that we should bridge East and West. We should bridge religious, and together through interface dialogue also discuss and prepare systematic progress of mental and spiritual development of human or mankind of human, especially today during pandemic, and keep our immune system strong. Maybe will be very good, as was told, systematic and structured yoga, because there are many parts of yoga very effective, but it's also good prepared together, as Indian government under Prime Minister Modi try to prepare. So research work is now very important in world religious organization, also is involved in this research work. So I wish all of us and you listeners that you receive the finest motivation to practice yoga. Thank you very much.
Maestro, il tuo audio.
Grazie dal cuore, Anna. Sono felice della presentazione che hai fatta. Parlo anche un po' in italiano per far capire che c'è anche l'Italia qui. Ok?
Thank you very much, dear Anna, for your presentation. I'm also speaking Italian to let us understand that there is a lot of Italy listening to us.
Yeah. And voglio dire una cosa, che abbiamo proprio voluto anche all'interno della Federazione Europea un consigliere indiano.
I would like to say that inside the European Yoga Federation, we wanted to accept also a member from India.
Un'altra persona che come me, Amy e Dileep, è un grande organizzatore di eventi, oltre a essere una persona che conosce perfettamente la cultura.
And I'm introducing a person who, just like dear Dileepji, Amy and myself, is a great organizer, meeting organizer.
I request Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar from India to Christine introduce who Dr. Vikrant is, please, Christine.
Okay, yeah, I'm very especially honored to introduce European Yoga Federation's board member from India, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar. He is the director and founder director of various organizations with outstanding and worldwide projects. To mention just a few, it's United Consciousness Global, an initiative for creating an integrated world by removing barriers and limited identities and establishing holistic well-being. And Project Self, it's an organization to promote Vedantic philosophy and culture across the world. The list goes on and on and on, but I would like you to listen to a great, brilliant, clear-sighted speaker on the true meaning of yoga.
Thank
So
you,
I get
Christine.
the word to, hope this was short enough, Dr. Vikrant.
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
Respected Guruji, respected Swamiji, Amiji, and dear friends, I'm supposed to speak on true meaning of yoga. And as they say, perpendicular distance is the shortest distance. So let me directly come to the topic. Yoga has two meanings. Adi Shankaracharya in his commentary says, one is yuj melane. Yuj means to connect. Yuj melane means to bind together, to connect, the union. This is the first meaning of yoga. It means being one with the divine. It means self-realization. It means enlightenment. It means nirvana. It means kaivalyam. It means moksha. It means liberation. It means videha mukti. It means till you are alive, you are free from suffering. And the moment you die, you free from rebirth. So this definition is the first definition of yoga. And if you find this definition, then in the billions of people on the planet, you may count only 1, 2, 3 people who are qualified to be called as yogi. People who are actually enlightened. So this is the first definition. But there is a hope in the second definition. Second definition is yujre iti samadhihi. Yujre iti samadhi means any spiritual practice that takes us towards the stage of samadhi. Any practice which takes us towards the stage of samadhi. What is samadhi? Samadhi. Sam means balance. A means fluctuations. Dhi means mind. A state where all the fluctuations of mind are balanced. So any activity which will create that balance is called yoga. So in that definition, majority of the people in the world who are practitioners of yoga may fit, and they can be called as yogi because they are walking on the path of yoga. So it is balancing, it is seizing the fluctuations of mind, creating an equipoised mind in the second definition, samatvam. What does that mean? Imagine a person who is equipoised, balanced in profit and loss, balanced in respect, or even if you disrespect him, you won't bother about it. Balanced in connect or even disconnect with people. Extremely balanced in honor or insult. Extremely equipoised in victory or defeat. Extremely balanced if somebody takes birth or somebody leaves the body. So how to reach that stage? And then there are various methods. You call it karma yoga for chitta shuddhihi. Chitta means mind. Shuddhi means purifying the mind. Mind is just like water. When you purify it, you can see through it. Another is upasana yoga for chitta sthitihi. Chitta means mind. Sthiti means balancing, removing this fluctuation. So upasana yoga assures that it should be stable. Karma yoga assures it should be clear. When the water is stable and clear at the same time, you can see through. And the moment you see through, it is called Jnana Yoga. Jnanam, then you gain the wisdom of the life, when you see through the life. So for that, these two are must. Chitta Shuddhi, purity, and Chitta Sthiti, balance of mind. And that is how we gain Jivan Mukti. This is what Maharshi Patanjali speaks about in the first chapter of Yoga Sutram. So Jivan Mukti means till you are alive, you are free from all the sufferings. So what are the qualities of a yogi? In this definition even, let me tell you, and you can keep all of the people who are watching us from any part of the world. Right now, I'm going to tell you what is an yogi, and you can identify how far and how close you are in this definition. So what is the element? So let me define it in 4 terms. First is called bhogi. Bhogi means indulgent person who is completely indulged. Second is called sansari, means engaged, getting married, engaged with the world affairs. Third is an yogi. And fourth is a jnani, which is the objective of yoga, to gain the wisdom of self-realization. So these 4 terms. Now I'm going to explain every term in the common behavior. First, the element. Bhogi's element is, indulgent element is tamaguna. Sansari is rajguna. Yogi is satguna. And jnani is neshtraya gunyam, beyond 3 gunas. Second, approach. What is the approach? Approach of a indulgent bhogi is only me. Sansari is first me, not only me, first me and then you. But yogi is first you, then me. Jnani is neither me nor you, only purpose matters. We don't matter at all. Next, action, from where the action sprouts. For bhogi, action sprouts from fantasies. Sansari, it sprouts from desires. Yogi, it sprouts from selflessness. And a jnani, it sprouts from akarta bhavam. I'm just an instrument. Focus. What is the focus? For bhogi, the focus is subjective reality. What I see is right. My way or highway. Sansari, objective reality. Yogi, absolute reality. Jnani, certainly absolute reality. How do they deal with others? Bhogi, win, lose. I win, you lose. Sansari, win-win. You win, I win. Yogi, let me behave with everybody else the kind of behavior I want for myself. And a jnani won't deal with anybody else. Jnani will say there are no others. What about dealing with others? There are no others. Everybody is my own reflection. So what is the karma phala? What is their approach about karma phala? Bhogi, indulgent person, he wants karma phala without efforts. Sansari, he wants karma phala equal to efforts. Yogi is not bothered about karma phala. He is focused on the efforts. Karmani eva adhikaraste. Let me focus on my efforts. I don't take charge of the results. They are not in my hand. Jnani, akarma. Even I am not putting efforts, it is also happening automatically. I don't take ownership of my efforts even. I give my 100%. Everything is happening by its own. Karma. Bhogi, it is vikarma. Bhogi does a work which is not appropriate to be done. Sansari does a karma, appropriate works. Yogi, nishkama karma, without attachment. And jnani, akarma. If you will speak ill about a bhogi, you go and speak ill about a bhogi. Bhogi will say, I will never talk to you because you will speak ill about you. I won't talk to you. And even I will harm you back. Sansari will say, I felt so bad. I feel upset about it when somebody speaks bad. But a yogi said, I'm perfectly fine if you speak ill of me. It's your opinion and I respect your opinion. Jnani will say there is nothing called good and bad. These are just words. Words carry no meaning. Satyam is about realization, not about words. 8. Next, failure. How does a bhogi sees failure? For bhogi's failure means he becomes negative and destructive in failure. Sansari becomes sad, mood swings and depressed in failure. But a yogi says, it's okay, let's try again. And jnani will say there is nothing called failure. Only one failure can happen if I fail to realize myself. Everything else is useless. This is only the failure. If you appreciate a bhogi, he'll be so happy, he'll be elated. that I'm being appreciated. You appreciate a Sansari, he'll be filled with gratitude and he'll share with everybody else, look, I am appreciated. If you appreciate a yogi, he'll remain neutral for all the appreciations. And if you appreciate a Jnani, Jnani will say, you only get appreciated by yourself through others. So this is how we understand that Jnani and Yogi and Bhogi, these people, they vary. Like in relationships, Bhogi is, they demand security and they are dependent in relationships. Sansari is, they also want security and they are interdependent in relationship. And a yogi is emotionally independent on anybody. He will love everybody, but his mood will not depend on anybody else. No, he will take charge. And a Jnani will say, Vasundhave Kutumbakam. Whole world is my family. Before doing any work, a Bhogi will ask, why me? Why should I do it? Sansari will say, what will I get out of it? Yogi will say, how many people will be benefited? And a Jnani will say, will this act help me to realize myself? What are the decision premise? Artha as a Purushartha is the decision premise of a Bhogi. Kamna, desires is the decision premise of a Sansari. Dharma is the decision premise of a Yogi. And Moksha is the decision premise of a Jnani. Now, in the last, let me also tell you what happens. This is about living, but what happens when a person dies? Lord Krishna in Gita chapter 6 verse 40 says, when a yogi dies, neither here or hereafter, he will perish. Never a good meets with an evil end. His sadhana will continue. He will never perish. Verse 42, chapter 6, Lord Krishna says in Gita, when a yogi dies, he gets reborn in the family of wise and jnani people, and he continues his journey. And then Lord Krishna says in chapter 6, verse 47, so Arjuna, get up, rise, and be a devoted yogi. Because you are not right now eligible to be a jnani, start with being a yogi. Because you are a karma yogi, so be a devoted karma yogi. So in summary, we understood that yoga is, in one definition, yuj melne, billions of people, only one or two you can count as a yogi. But in second definition, as a path, travelers on the path of yoga, then there are many people you can count as a yogi. And in that, there are many karma yoga, upasana yoga, chitta shuddhi, chitta sthiti, that leads to jnana prapti. Jnani becomes self-realized. And then I told you what is the difference between a person of indulgence, bhogi, persons of engagement, sansari, and yogi and jnani. And then what happens once a yogi dies? And then once a person really dies as a yogi, Lord Krishna calls him yoga arudaha. Arudaha means one who has win over yoga. Arudaha means one who rides on the horse. So, or anything. So one who rides his life on yoga, he's a yoga arudaha. Once a yoga aruda dies, he takes birth again in a family of jnanis to realize himself. I rest my case. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. And I'm so happy to be a part of this group and gathering. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vikram Singh Tomar, for your nice presentation. Now we go in Germany, where there is a special person that found there, I think, the most important ashram in Europe is Sukadev Volker Breitz. Please, Christine, present Sukadev to the people.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm extremely pleased to present Sukadev Breitz. He's the founder of Yoga Vidya Germany, what Amadi already alluded to, one of the leading yoga movements in Europe. Yoga Vidya has 4 major ashrams, nearly 100 yoga centers, and 21,000 yoga teachers. The main ashram near Hanover has 250 permanent community members and up to 1,000 guests. Sukadev is author of several books, videos, and podcasts on yoga, Vedanta, and meditation. Moreover, he is the representative of Germany and a board member of the European Yoga Federation. Now get inspiration and energy from this dynamic spiritual teacher, here and now with pranayama and meditation for chakra awakening. Please, Sukadev.
Om Namah Shivaya. On behalf of Yoga Vidya Ashram Germany and of European Yoga Federation, I want to express my gratitude to Guru Dileepji and World Yoga Community to organize this 28th Annual World Yoga Festival and 7th International Day of Yoga celebration, a month-long event from June 1 to the 30. And today is dedicated as European Yoga Festival. June 21st is the International Day of Yoga, recognized as such by UNESCO and thus United Nations. Yoga is thousands of years old. Great illumined masters like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Shivananda, Ramana Maharshi and so many more were instruments of a higher power to establish a renaissance of yoga in the 20th century. Now in the 21st century, yoga is practiced by hundreds of millions of practitioners in the whole world. We're now at a special time with Corona subsiding. We hope that an age of peace, of love, of universal understanding will dawn soon. And yoga can be of extremely high importance for this. The word yoga has many meanings. Some of them are union, harmony, connectedness. Yoga also means to strive or spiritual practice. You could say yoga means striving for establishing harmony and connectedness through spiritual practice. And the events around International Day of Yoga can contribute to this feeling of connectedness. I want to guide you through a simple and easy to practice meditation technique to feel this connectedness on all levels of existence, symbolized by the 7 chakras. Sit up nice and straight, spine straight, shoulders relaxed. Breathe a few times deeply with your abdomen. Feel connected with yourself from foot to head. Now feel the base of the spine, Muladhara chakra, root chakra. Imagine roots from Mother Earth. Expand your awareness into Mother Earth. And you can say the affirmation, I'm deeply connected with Mother Earth. Om. I'm deeply connected with Mother Om. Now go to the second chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, symbolizing water element and the plants. Feel the sacrum and the pelvic area. And you can say mentally and feel, I feel deeply connected with all rivers and oceans. Om. I feel connected with all the plants. Om. Connected with all the plants. Om. Now increase the depth of your abdominal breath and feel into the abdomen. Exhale completely, and when you inhale, let the abdomen go forward. Breathe deeply, feel the abdomen, and thus go to the Manipura chakra, symbolizing fire element and all animals. Feel the lumbar spine and the whole abdominal area. And you can say mentally, I feel connected with all animal life. I feel connected with all animal life. Now go to the fourth chakra, Anahata chakra, heart center, symbolizing air element, love, and all human beings. You can expand your chest. You can even breathe a little more into your chest. Feel the thoracic spine and the heart. And you can internally repeat mentally, I am lovingly connected with all human beings. Om. I am lovingly connected with all human beings. Om. Now come to the fifth chakra, Vishuddha chakra, symbolizing space element, Akasha, and the subtle worlds. Feel the cervical spine and the throat area. You can repeat mentally, I feel connected with the infinite space and all subtle beings. Om. I feel connected with the infinite space and all subtle beings. Om. Now come to the sixth chakra, Ajna chakra, symbolizing pure intelligence and intuition. Now you can let the breath become very smooth and very soft. You can inhale and exhale very little air. You can Put your tongue near the teeth, front teeth. And you can look up with your eyes towards the point between the eyebrows. Feel the point between the eyebrows and the middle of the forehead. Maybe you see a light there, expanding more and more, or you feel subtle pulsation of energy there. You can repeat mentally, I am connected with the universal mind. Om. Connected with the universal mind. Om. Now come to the 7th chakra, Sahasrara chakra, symbolizing pure consciousness and transcendental bliss. Feel the top of your head and the space above your head. You can also visualize a light above your head. And you can expand your awareness above your head into all directions. I am pure consciousness, one with the infinite. Soham. I am pure consciousness, one with the infinite. Soham. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings attain peace and harmony, and may the celebrations to the International Day of Yoga contribute to this peace and harmony. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Sukadev. Thank you. Thank you. Sukadev. Now, European Yoga Federation present his last speaker, but please wait, because after this speaker, he received a great gift from Turkey that we want to show you. Last speaker is Yogi Baba Adnan from Turkey. Please, Christine, present Yogi Baba Adnan, please.
Yes, I'm very glad and honored to present him, Guru and Master Yogi Baba Adnan Ananda Sidvio Chabuk, who many years ago attended numerous training programs and learned yoga from various teachers, healers, gurus and masters all over India and in the Far East for 10 years. In 1996, he started to teach yoga in Istanbul, Turkey. In 1997, he established and founded a yoga school named after one of his guru schools, Siddhashram Yoga Center. He's the Doyen master who started and spread yoga in Turkey, and in 2012, he founded the non-profit Yoga Foundation in Turkey. He owns an authentic ashram in Alanya Taurus Mountains, Antalya, Turkey, where he teaches classical spiritual Raja Yoga together with his wife, Madame Lourdes Jabuk, and the other masters of Siddhashram Yoga Center. Other than teacher training programs, they also host yoga purification camps in this ashram, which is the only authentic ashram in Turkey. Guru and Master Yogi Baba has an autobiography called Without Disturbing the Silence, The Life Adventure of a Mesopotamian Yogi, published in 2008, and his wife, Madame Lourdes, published the book Yoga for a Beautiful Face in 2011. So now please welcome Yogi Baba Adnan. The knowledge of yoga has the power to save humanity.
Namaste. On the celebration of World Yoga Day, I greet everyone from Anatolia, the cradle of civilization. The Sufis, Rumi, Yunus, and Haji Bektashi Veli. We are fortunate today that we can communicate with the whole society, which was not able before. Thank God, with the technological development, with the internet system, now we have become, every person has become a media self. So we are not obliged to learn or to accept the information we get all from media of the TV or movies, which we are not sure of. We can search scientifically with great information we can get from respected scientists, and we can read ourselves, and we can also speak about it and inform the world society, which is a big fortune. And that's what we are doing today, which was not able to do before. So the world today has the chance to be getting a new educational system which spread around the world for every country. And it can be very humanistic system, because before every country has its own tradition, and they did whatever they wanted to as education. But in fact, this education were not always healthy, because most of the religion, even they meant to be good, but they've been misused, and they've been used as a tool of fear to dominate the people of the world, to use them for their own benefit. So unfortunately, I don't see the hope of any religion can be so dominant to save the world anymore, which they meant it at the beginning. And when I met yoga in my life many years back, and I started to practice, I realized that was very deep science of life. Like, it was the art of living, really. How it affected me, it changed me completely. Before yoga, I was doing Tai Chi Chuan, Chinese yoga, for 15 years. But when yoga came to my life, I completely forget the Tai Chi without even realizing I forget about it. Because yoga dominated me so much, it became like my skin, my clothes. I was just yoga. And I was talking to everyone about, hey, there is something called yoga. And so I start to spread this language with explaining Patanjali and the rishis, the great rishis, they have found yoga, thank God. And then it came all the way by even 5,000 years, it didn't die. It means it is a good, because if something continues so many thousand years, it must have a good reason. For 5,000 at least years, yoga has continued to come today. And even though in India, I recognize that time, not many people were practicing yoga, but now, thank God, at last, I know in India is also widespread, like the world now today. And people like us who have discovered the values or the qualities of yoga, the science of yoga, we feel responsible. We have to spread it to the whole society of the world because we benefited and everybody has to benefit. This is the meaning of yoga. We cannot be selfish, egoistic, only for ourselves because there is no ourselves. We are all. Everything is all. Everybody is us. We are everybody. Now we can't hurt anybody. We can't hurt the nature. We cannot destroy the nature, which it has been before, because there's no yoga. There's only, hambalabamba, people for benefit, they did this, they did that, they used the religion wrongly, and so the world became to what it is today. Unfortunate, but we have to be awakened, and some of us has, at least ourselves, has awakened even a little bit, thank God. We know what we're supposed to do. I recommend personally, as the last hope, yoga has to be taught in all the schools of the world. In all the schools of the world. They can put their tradition together, their culture together, fine, but they have to teach yoga, classic yoga, Patanjali yoga, with the 8 limbs, without forgetting about yama, niyama, ahimsa, non-violence. This is a must. Not only exercises. If this is practiced in the schools with the new generation, we will have a healthy generation in the world, so we can create a real civilization. Not army civilization, not economical civilization, but really human civilization we can create, but this education. That's why I pray and I have a dream that one day the yoga science in complete form with the 8 limbs of yoga, especially yama, niyama, meditation, pranayama, right diet, relaxation, pratyahara, dhara, all of it has to be together. That was because the yoga is new. It cannot be just exercise or even meditation alone is fine, but it's better to cover the 7 bodies, the 7 chakras. You may meditate, but your body can become weak. So you have to strengthen the body like as a hatha yogi, and so you can stand the meditation and the movement of the energy of the universe, so you can handle and have the chance to awake. That's why yoga must be taught absolutely with the 8 limbs without forgetting one. Otherwise, it is not yoga. So yoga science has to be the educational system for the whole world society in every school. This is my opinion. I'm insisting. I'm trying also in Turkey. Actually, I talked to some Gaon people. I said, you want a healthy society? You want human society? Okay, don't forget your religion. Islam is fine. Sufism is great. But we have to have yoga because it brings a healthy body, healthy mind, healthy thinking, healthy talking, non-violence. There's no enemies. All the religion in the world tell us your neighbor is an enemy. It's not true. There is no enemies. What enemies? We are whole human beings. We cannot destroy the nature, the water, the earth, the trees, the insects, the animals. They are all our brothers. They are our family. We have to cuddle them with love. Unfortunately, all the religion which was misused by those kind of leaders, they used the tool of fear and told people that the neighbor is your enemy. So we have to fight our neighbors for centuries. What enemy? No enemy. Everybody wants his family, his children to be healthy and go to school and be around. There is no enemy. The earth enemy has created by the profiteers. We have to take this enemy word from the dictionary of our life, all of us. There's only brotherhood, human being. We are not a body entity. We are a light entity. Inside this body, there's a light. It is the super conscious light. So we have to realize it. But if we practice yoga and the word practice yoga with the all endings, by the time, not everybody may be enlightened to moksha or samadhi, but I tell my students, don't look for enlightenment, but do the system, continue the system. You will be awakened to a certain level, which will bring good life to you. Don't ask for enlightenment. Enlightenment will come to you. Just do the right thing. What yoga is telling you, practice daily. Then you will become a partly awakened, and that is enough to start with. And if you are fortunate, it's meant to be. If your karma allows you, then you may become enlightened. It's so simple. I also want to say that yoga is a must study in the whole world, in every school. It has the power, because we are not only physical, we are also metaphysical at the same time. It has the power to save humanity from the misery and to save the nature, of course, because nature is humanity. The humanity is nature. We are just one. And yoga has the power to do that. So we have to really invest on this idea, because I feel responsible to insist in talking about that yoga has to be taught in the whole schools and the whole world. And adding to that, my opinion that we should add also science for the mind, we should add art for the heart, and we should add health for the physical matter. Those three subjects will make human being perfectly developed. The science for the mind, the art for the heart, and the health for the body. While yoga is covering all that, but also we can make it more widely competed to show the world that it is not the world yoga we are after. It is about the real meaning of human being we are talking about. We may not call it yoga. We can call it anything. We can call it human consciousness, to be a good man. I call it to be a good man, to not harm anybody, to not be destructive, to be always productive. If you are destructive, then you are not doing anything good. You can call yourself yogi, but if you are productive, continuously in every moment, in every situation, in every happening, you are productive. You are good. You are doing this right. And every human being should understand this. There is no profit for human being to be destructive and use your ego so highly. We have to control our ego, fear, jealousy, anger, and hate, and improve that we convert them to love, compassion, sharing, and etc. I know my time is almost over, so I get your permission.
Yogi Baba Nan, thank you so much for your nice presentation. And now by Yogi Baba Adnan, we receive this great and wonderful gift. Please, Amelia or Dileepji, please show the video.
Okay, so I'm really honored to present the next video. It's an artistical, spiritual, and heart-touching performance. This video, we would like to thank Yogi Baba Nan because thanks to the mutual respect with Merkandede, this famous Turkish musician, they honored us, European Yoga Federation, the World Yoga Community, and all this great audience with this amazing gift. The next performance is a Sufi music and Violin Dervish by the artist for us. So let's open our heart.
This is Mercan Dede from Turkey. On behalf of our beloved Adnan Baba and many brothers and sisters, I would like to congratulate European Yoga Federation's Be Yoga Beyond first symposium. I hope the next symposium, at least one of them, will held in great Anatolia, Turkey. We will have an opportunity to show you this magical land and give an opportunity to diversity, love, and kindness all together. Thank you. Namaste.
Like water, I know this. It's going to be affected from everything.
etsin. Doldur kadehleri aşk ile, kadehimiz candır, hepimiz bir can. İçelim de aklımız çıksın baştan. Doldur sufi kadehleri aşk. Diyar-ı masivadan geliriz biz. Evvel tekinik, şimdi bir olduk biz. Duyardık, duyurduk, uyandık aşka. Doldur sufi yanıyor içim. Gel dedi sultanımız geldik işte. Gülmeden eylem etmesin şikayet. Şükür biz aşık olduk nihayet. Dolduk dede yürekler aşk ile.
That's a beautiful one.
Fantastico.
Amazing, amazing.
Coloring and coordination, everything went very well.
Beautiful.
Amelia, se mi senti, per favore.
I just would like to add a few words said by Mercandede, the artist. He's a great artist in Turkey, and he plays with many artists all over the world. He says that he believes that when you put digital electronic sounds together with handmade human ones, you can create universal language capable of united old and young, ancient and modern, east and west. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then now I like to invite our next speaker, is Divya Pravamadaji. She is originally from Europe, England. But last some years, she is living in India. She is becoming as Indian. She is from the International Chandramauli Charitable Trust, very active, scholar in Sanskrit, and leaving her own country and coming to India and blending with the Indian culture. That is amazing experience. I know she'll have her own journey to share with us today. Sri Divya Prabha Mataji, floor is for you.
Pranam. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om. Pranam Guruji, and thank you so much to the World Yoga Federation, World Yoga Community and the European Yoga Federation. What a beautiful program you once again have put together, and not just on one day, but I mean, I think this is the 12th day of 30. It's such a pleasure to listen to all of you and to hear Suryananda Guruji and Gayatri Devi Ji again, and to hear Sukadevji and others for the first time. Such an honor to be amongst you. So Guruji asked me to just say a few words about my life experience of yoga and yoga as a way of life. So like every single one of you and people around the world, every human being's looking for something, and every action we carry out is always connected to that aim, which is peace and happiness. And in that search for peace and happiness, I had like this burning question: who am I? And if this who am I was running around like a mantra that got me into a meditation group, that on the first time there, I understood that this is what life is about. And after that, then I started investigating, what is this thing called yoga? What is meditation? How does everything come together? And I've, found that this is the most extraordinary, completely logical, scientific way of expressing a perfect way of life, a perfect way of living, that as Suryananda Guruji said, that there's no division of religion and no caste, no color, no gender, no age. Anybody can do this. And it's so simple because, truth is simple. All complicated techniques and complicated discussions are all modifications of the mind itself. And the path of yoga is very, very simple. And it potentially gave us yama, niyam, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhara, dhyan, samadhi. And it's not even that each of these, you do this step and you pass this step, then you get this step. They all simultaneously coming together that, like Sthira Sukham Asanam, you sit stable and bring the mind stable, that brings the practice of pranayama, bringing your breath under control, And this is, the aspect of which can help the whole world, because thought and breath are twins. And people are suffering because of their minds, because of the misunderstanding of the individuality. So pranayama, bringing your mind under control, bringing the pratyahara. And pratyahara, like the Gita says, yada samharte chayam gomangani vasavasha indriyani indriyate bhyas tasya pragya pratishtata. So like automatically your prana, when we're also chanting mantra, is coming up through the chakras. Ashta chakra nadwara devanam puriyodya. Atara Veda, which was also known as Brahma Veda, tells us the whole journey of life, that we ourselves are Yodya, where there's no battles, that we ourselves are the dwelling place of all the divine beings. We don't need to look outside for these things. And the journey is very simple, through the chakras and closing the Naudwara and the 9 gates, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, and the 2 lower gates. So simple a journey it is, and we make life so complicated. So just by raising your prana, the withdrawal from the senses becomes automatic. And this is where, people are really suffering in the life. Because Patanjali tells us that everybody has an intellect, satbuddhi, which is like a colorless crystal. But each one of us is reflecting our individuality until we're a yogi or a jnani, as Guruji was saying. Through the objects of the senses, the colorings of nature, the Rajaguna, Tamaguna, and Satguna is reflecting up, like colored lenses around this colorless crystal. And this is where all the problems are in life. So like someone's having like blue lenses and someone's having red lenses. So the blue sunglasses one is looking through it yellow and says it's green, and the red one says, no, it's orange. In reality, it's simple, it's yellow. And so the path of yoga is such a simple technique that gets us to be able to be in that state, triguna rahitam, beyond the qualities of nature, to be able to see yellow as yellow, to see blue as blue, to know ourselves, to be able to see inside what we are really. And until we know that, we'll never be able to understand what is around us. And so that's yoga gives us the secret to peace. And as Panini said, Yujang Samado, Yujir Yoge, that yoga means samadhi, stable intellect, samabuddhi. And so this journey of yoga really is the science of stable wisdom. And we have simple tools of the practice. And we also have the divine gift of the Omkara, as told in the Samaveda, Uddagita Shabda, something that is naturally uplifting us. At the throat, U at the lips, and Ma at the space between the eyebrows. So this Ong is naturally uplifting us. And what is mantra? Mananatra titi mantra, that thing that protects us from the cogitations of the mind. So just by living a simple life on the path of yoga, we can attain perfection, we can attain peace and happiness, not by seeking it, but by simply going through the practice and realizing who we really are, and realizing that actually we're one universal entity, ekatvam anupashyata, realizing that unity in diversity. This is the secret to peace and happiness. With that, I say, Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, all the great Gurujis here, for inviting me into your divine space, and of always, and Guruji at World Yoga Community for all of your tireless efforts of bringing all of us together again and again and again. And wishing everybody a great International Yoga Day and further greatness and knowledge in your programs. Pranam.
Thank you, Divya Mataji, joining with us, blessing us. This is very important to bring people from different faith and culture and different countries. World Yoga Community meant for the globe, not only for one country or a nation. And World Yoga Community is a long time organization, and we are the only one affiliated with the UN now. We are going to bring everyone to our UN network because I want everybody to be recognized as yogis and yoginis. Not for me, for the world. I believe I born in a yoga family as a child, little boy. I started yoga from my parents and spend entire life in a yogic path, move around all over India, end up in Himalayas and end up in New York City. That's a purpose. So I'll continue my purpose. I want to show a few photos from past events. That is one major event happened at the Indian consulate in 2007. I'll show that too. That is from one of the yoga festival happened in New York. And you see Swami Bhu is sitting there, Rabbi Kalpamayan, Swami Ramasubhananda from Divine Life Society, Archbishop Titus, Swami Ramananda from Integral Institute, and the Baba Jain from the Jain community who organized the Millennium Religious Conference at the United Nations, and Sharon Salzberg from the Buddhist community, and one of the yogi from New York. You see all the people, and we announced International Day of Yoga is coming. That's before anybody did the work. Of course, some people from the Europe also support this movement. And 2005 and 2006, when we met at the Argentina, we had the discussion, and the Europe also we had a discussion. And I announced, I said, we'll make International Day of Yoga, that is agenda from the UN. Somehow people made fun of us, but God is truth. This happened. Yeah. This is the photo from our 25th annual program in Goa. This is from the last physical event in 2019 at the Church Center of the United Nations. Thereafter, we had a big celebration at the United Nations General Assembly. This is going on and on, but I'm glad we all are coming together for a betterment for humanity. Even if it's online or physical event, still we'll continue our work. Like Baba Adinam, he mentioned about the yoga should be taught in the school. Yes, it's going to happen. Last day we had an interview. One of the state banned yoga for more than 28 years, and now recently they lift the ban. That is because of the religious dogma, nothing else. Yoga is not belong to anybody. Yoga is a universal teaching. This is for everybody, beyond religion. So it's a spiritual technique. Yeah. I want to show one of the video from our 25th annual program.
विश्व शांति कुरु योगमयं विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु विश्वं कुरु
Now you can see a photo behind me. That I'll give the credit to Amadio and Gayatri and all of them. You know, there was a struggle in Romania.
Romania.
Police were beating our yoga teachers and torturing, putting nails under their nails. And we made a decision to have an event in Europe, in Bucharest. I was strongly supporting this event because as a yogi, I don't want any yoga teacher to be suffer because they are promoting yoga. We made a beautiful event, thousands of people gathered, and somebody took a picture from us behind us, But the photo came very well. I just still keep that photo. The sacrifice all of us went through, I remind the new generation, you may not know the way we went through it. So you had to acknowledge all the people did the hard work to create International Day of Yoga. It not only belong to a leader from a country, it belongs to the entire yogis and those who gave us a path to bring yoga as a universal teaching. I had to acknowledge all the great masters who came on this earth, did great work, especially the disciples of Swami Shivananda, went across the globe. Most of the monks. Okay. I know some of them made a mistake in their life. Still, I had to acknowledge their work. Because of them, we all became yoga teachers. Now, yoga became a #1 technique around the globe because of the United Nations. So we don't want to lose that recognition. We all will work together to create a better place for the future generation. Here I want to bring all of the speakers today to the line with I'm going to open up questions for everybody. Now, I'm glad I met Baba, Adnan and Anna today, the first meeting. And I'm just looking for our Sukadevji. Please join, open your video. Who else? Our speakers. Where is Vikram? Vikram left or? Translator. All the translators should be here. Now we are going to open for general public to ask questions. And even all the speakers can make comments for 2 minutes. That's also good. Sukadevji, can you open your video? So here I am going to ask one question to Amadio Bianchi. Within these many years, you went through yoga, Ayurveda, Indian culture. What is your total experience? We had to mention within 2-3 minutes.
Fantastic experience, Amelia, traducimi. Una esperienza fantastica. Ringrazio di essermi ritrovato in questa condizione, di incontrare così tanta gente, ma soprattutto di aver incontrato gente che come me aspirava all'amore, all'unità nella diversità. Vai, Ami.
Fantastic experience. I'm really honored and grateful to have met so many people during my life that just like me, they've been aspiring for a higher life, for a better life.
E siccome dico sempre che ognuno di noi deve essere un esempio nella vita, allora mi sento nel mio servizio, mi sento umilmente di stare al servizio dell'umanità e mi sento bene.
And as we have to remember that each and every one of us has to be an example in his own life. So I have to say that I'm humbly here, humbly to offer my service.
Non ho mai perso la speranza che la pace si possa attuare su questo pianeta.
I never lost the hope that peace can be realized on this planet Earth.
Questo slogan, unità nella diversità, che ho sentito da Gandhi, non l'ho sentito direttamente, ma che mi è arrivato da Gandhi, è diventata la religione della mia vita.
And this sentence, unity in diversity, that I heard from Gandhi. I didn't hear from him directly, but is one of his motto. And I must say that nowadays became my own, like a religion, my own religion too.
Posso essere stanco, sfinito, non avere dormito, ma se qualcuno mi chiama per fare qualcosa come questa, io subito sono disponibile, sento che il mio cuore si agita subito per cercare di fare delle cose.
And even though I may be tired, low energy, but as soon as somebody call me up and request for some work to do, I'm there, ready, no matter how.
Grazie Dileep per tutto quello che fai, grazie dell'amicizia che mi dai, e grazie a tutti quelli che hanno partecipato e che mi hanno detto di sì, che sono venuti. E un'ultima cosa, vorrei invitare Divya Prabha a fare parte anche dell'European Yoga Federation, che si unisca a noi.
Okay, I first of all would like to say thanks to you, dear Dileepji, for this great opportunity, for this great time together. I would like to say thanks to all the people that allowed, that they are here today, they accepted the invitation. And I would like to say thanks to all the audience. And I may request Divya Prabha to be part of the European Yoga Federation. Please do be part of our community too.
Great.
We'll be very honored.
I'm always with you from the beginning. Still I am with you. So I like to invite Amy Blasio. Just mention your life journey within 3 minutes.
Mi traduci?
Sì.
Sì. È una cosa meravigliosa essere qua tutti insieme ed è splendido veramente che ci sia questa unione di tante menti, di tante linee diverse.
It's so amazing to be here together, all of us. And it's so special that there is a unity, the unity of all these minds here together.
Anche perché si capisce proprio che c'è amore in questi eventi. E io credo che sia costruttivo proprio per ognuno di noi. Queste cose danno anche uno scopo alla nostra vita, perché l'abbiamo dedicata tutta allo yoga, almeno io ho dedicato tutta la vita allo yoga, e vedere che viene accettato anche questo pensiero che secondo me è costruttivo e anche molto utile per l'umanità.
I'm really glad because I feel that during these events, like the one here today, you can really feel that love is embracing all of us. And it's so amazing also for people like us being here, the people working for yoga, because now you realize that yoga is everywhere and can be supportive, and it's nice to realize that.
Ed è un mezzo veramente per il miglioramento dell'umanità. Io credo che se... Scusa.
And it's a mean to the improvement of the humanity.
Questo proprio per creare anche una gioventù diversa che purtroppo è stata mezza massacrata da anche una vita superficiale, di proposte superficiali.
And is also a mean to uplift the young people. That nowadays they are overcome with the superficial possibilities, superficial ideas. So it becomes so important they can rely on yoga.
Sì, che trovano anche qualcosa per appoggiare il loro cammino.
So they can find something that can support their own path.
Perché per il momento c'è molta confusione.
Because for the time being, there is a lot of confusion all around.
Quindi questo è veramente come una freccia che porta diritto al miglioramento.
So this is just like an arrow that can go strike directly to the main goal.
Great, beautiful.
Grazie.
And I know you are going to speak another day, so you'll have more chances to say. So here I like to invite my yogi brother from Germany, Sugadevji. I know over 25 years he's putting an organization and developed very well. And I know he's from the Shivananda lineage, from my lineage too. I want to hear from his short explanation about his journey as a yogi and the promoter of Indian culture. Please.
Well, I started with yoga when I was 16. I was in Germany in a little village, and I was asking the important question like, who am I, where am I coming from, what is the meaning of life? And so I started with yoga and meditation with a book. Then I went to Munich for university studies, and there I met my guru, Swami Vishnadevananda, disciple of Swami Shivananda. And so I served in his organization till 91. And then I felt it's time to start an organization which tries to unite the ancient teachings of India with a democratic community and with yogic values combined with democratic values and community life and so on. And so we developed first a center in Frankfurt and an ashram in Westerwald, and then the bigger ashram in Bad Meinberg. And so we try to teach yoga in a very deep way. We teach on Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra and the Hatha Yoga scriptures. And at the same time, we unite yoga with modern techniques. So also we have modern developments like yin yoga and aerial yoga and so on. So to reach the broad public, we have yoga for the young people, for children, and we have for yoga with mothers and children, for the senior citizens, we have festivals. And so we really try to somehow approach potential yogis in all ways of life. But the main thing is we always try to say there's a depth in yoga and that we want to keep pure, and then we want to have a very broad appeal. So that's basically how we try to do it.
Great. I know some of my friends always come there, Sami Yedi Dharman and then Narayanji. Narayanji is my group from Kerala. They
Narayan from
talk about
Kerala and Swami Yati Dharmananda from Orissa. So it's also something which is very important to us, that we have this connection to India. So we invite quite a few Indian swamis and others who are preferably of the same lineage. Yeah. Of course, the last 1.5 years, nobody came.
Yeah, but it will change. I know slowly everything change. Even in New York, we are not wearing masks now. It is going to change. Change is necessary, you know.
Yes,
sometimes, you know, we get to our ego too much, then God will create something to settle down, you know.
Yes.
This is an experience for us. Because of yogis, we can keep it quiet, really. Other people get panic. We are not getting panic. That's the best part about us.
Hmm.
Now I would like to invite Anna from Slovakia, Dr. Anna. And I never met before. This is the first time we are meeting. I'm glad you are in this path, and thank Amadio to bring you here. Please mention your experience, your life journey towards the yoga and the principles.
I have been practicing yoga since my 17 years. It was during totalitarian regime, so I met my first yoga teacher in Prague during my university study at Charles University Psychology. And I was so much full and happy with yoga that I, since my first class till my finishing university, dedicated all my energy focusing, researching psychological aspect of yoga and how yoga can help us self-realization and mental and spiritual development. So it is not only my love, my hobby, but also my, we can tell, job or my research and my work. And so through yoga, I met wonderful people. All my life, I can tell, was wonderful. Every day, holiday, because so many nice people and so good techniques. I could learn how to remove problems and how to remove sorrows or other kind of obstacles. And thanks God, though I lived in totalitarian regime, in 1985 I could visit India through Afghanistan and Russia, etc. And in India, I found my second home. Since a young age, I wanted very much, since my 17, visit India. In India, I recognized it is not my first visit of India, but previous lives. So I feel this wisdom inside that I only continue this life. And thanks God, everything has plus and minus. So totalitarian regime fall down. Many yoga disciples became how to say, soldiers, spiritual soldiers who helped remove totalitarian regime. And we could travel. So thanks my son, his pilot, I could travel every year since 1985 till last year because of Corona, no travel. Every year, twice to India. And every time I used to tell new chapter of my life after visit India began. So I am happy. Also remember 1988, I met in Czechoslovakia Marilyn Rosner, Dr. Marilyn Rosner from Montreal, and she was a disciple of Swami Shivananda from Rishikesh. And she invited me 1988 to great conference, Interfaith Dialogue in Montreal. So I could meet there Swami Ananda, also disciple, Swami Vishnu Devananda at that time, and all this school. And now I see many pictures of Swami Shivananda. Of course, I was also in Rishikesh, and this school also influenced me. But as I don't wish repeat my what I spoke during first symposium a few months ago, that also I was very strongly how to probe my progress under yoga in daily life. Swami Maheshwarananda, Swami Madhavananda, who also visited my town, Yeshani. So I am very thankful to this lineage and also to Maharishi Ramana Maharishi,
Great.
which also has a strong influence on Czechoslovak people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I want to mention my uncle took sannyasa from Ramana Maharshi, even though he had another master for the first initiation. You know, he said, I want to take sannyasa only from Ramana Maharshi. That's what he did. So his name is Yedi. He's one of the popular teacher in philosophy and psychology. He used to travel globally. And now I like to invite Yogi Baba Adnan. I know he has a great experience in this field. First time we are meeting on this meeting. Please share your message within 3 minutes about your spiritual journey in yogic life.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. I was fortunate to meet yoga, as I mentioned before, and my first trip was to Sivananda, like many other friends. And I was fortunate to be with Sivananda. Actually, it was a great classical teaching of Gurukula system, more modernized Gurukula system. And then I understood that I have to go after a guru, find a personal teacher. And in Bangalore city, I met Guruji Atre, a Kundalini master, which he was also the student of Sivananda, which he mentioned that Swami Sivananda has taught only 3 people the esoteric Kundalini system, and he was one of them. So I was fortunate to study with him, and I went about 7 years every year to his feet to learn the system, to absorb it. And after that, life run, and we don't know what we are doing, but I go to India every year. I bring my students, I teach students to become a teacher. I take every year one group to India to see them, they can taste the Indian energy there, not only what they learn from me, but they can feel it there. So I take every year one group of the teachers. And at that time also, I came across Narayan Dutt Shirmali, Dr. Narayan Dutt Shirmali of Rajasthan. And I have become a great tapas student, tapas. I did a lot of tapas there because he didn't want to see me many days. I waited in his door for 1 month, every day. At last, he accepted me. And I was the only foreigner he has accepted. So I was very fortunate, and I stayed there for 4 months in that ashram with him. And so after that, because I became so integrated with yoga philosophy and India became my second country. I must say, I always mention that it's my second country. I used to go to India every year. I just feel I have to go also home there. Unfortunately, the corona system has stopped us for the last 2 years, but hopefully it will continue again. And I visited Bihar School of Yoga. I visited Vivekananda. I visited many other schools like Iyengar. I became close to all these masters at that time. So I was very fortunate. So it became really my life as this great system, this fantastic system, which I believe it is the best system for humanity. It has to be spread and taught to everyone in the world. And my mission is to do that. So as I mentioned many times, I will work all my life to spread yoga to every single person I meet, because it's a freedom. If the person comes into yoga system, he become free, because yoga system is the best purification system ever for all the bodies we have, all the layers, best purification. When we are purified, we are balanced, we become one. And that will go on. I thank you very much for all organizers. Great, really meeting, and we have done all our job, duty, I think, all together. I do appreciate and thank you again.
So wonderful to hear your inspirational life story in a nutshell. Definitely will bring you to one of the event to speak more. Now I'll like to hear from Divya Prabha Mataji from Chandramauli Trust. Please unmute yourself.
Pranam, Guruji. I was very lucky that the first time I went for meditation, I landed in a place I didn't know who they were or what they did or anything, but I just knew that this experience that I experienced in a forest near London was everything that I'd been looking for. And it was very lucky that these people were connected to Brahmrishi Vishwatma Bhavraji. But of course, you know, I was inspired by so many books, like the books by Vishnu Devananda, Swami Shivananda, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Paramahansa Yogananda. In fact, Paramahansa Yogananda is that's the key that led me to the question of who am I? Because I used to look at that photo and see something that I like recognized. I felt like I was looking at a picture of myself. So that's how I got to that question of who am I? And then steadily by following Brahmrishi Vishwatma Bhavraji, I was serving one of his saints in the UK. And that took me to America and then to Sri Lanka and then to India. And I remember my first day in India, which was 20 something years ago. Guruji said to me 1 week earlier in London, how long are you going to come to India for? And I said, Guruji, I'm going to get a visa for 1 year and we'll see. But I was thinking, you know, I'll stay 3 months, 4 months. And on my very first night, I landed in Delhi by myself. I reached Haridwar with no directions, nothing. I didn't know anything. And I reached the ashram and Guruji said, so how long are you going to stay? And it was like watching myself from outside. I watched myself answer, Guruji, 10 years and then we'll see. And of course, that was 20 years ago. So, you know, this journey of yoga is such a magical journey that in hindsight, everything seems so logical and so well organized. But at that moment in time, you have no idea what's about to happen. But I'm very, very lucky that it's a really blessed path to be surrounded by such great saints and to be able to meet saints like all of you and to be able to share this light of knowledge and to be surrounded by this light of knowledge. It's the ultimate journey of life, I think.
Great. Here I like to thank all the translators, especially Christine and Sarah. First time I am meeting them. And Amelia, they was here. So many times I met her. And she's communicating with me very fast. So for me, time is very precious. I eat 1 meal a day. I sleep less than an hour a day. I work day and night. I know within my limited life, I want to bring this yoga to the world mass much faster. That's where my motivation is. I know yoga can change entire world quickly. World is in a chaos. There's a lack of trust between people. So we had to do hard work to bring a harmonious way of lifestyle, you know. Then all of you are doing a wonderful job. This is your selfless service more than a job, you know. Some people make money for your living, whatever it is, fine, you know. The ultimate is you had to bring the spirituality as it is, more than any politics. That part you are doing very well. Then here we have a partner organization as a number one university in India, that is Amity University. Their faculty member, Dr. Minnamara Sharma, is here. I'll open the floor for him to ask some questions or comments, please.
Sir, thank you, Guruji. First of all, I convey my regard to you for making us Amity University as a partner of this wonderful events. I myself and along with that, our 11 students of BSc Honors Yoga is a witness of this very meaningful and wonderful events, I can say. Without going to the personal comments and thank to, I can say that all the eminent speakers, we are blessed to listen to each and every words from that all the eminent speakers today of today's session. And I can say that at the end, daily we attend the class to learn something, and we go out. Then again, next day we'll come in, again enter, and with that to getting some knowledge. And I can say that it is not a matter what I think to do, but the most important is what what I do to realize myself. So it's really wonderful, and again I am thankful and convey my regard along with my 11 students for this wonderful. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you one and all.
So now I am going to ask Amadio Bianchi, because over 1,300 people are watching this program. I know this is going to grow every second. Okay. What is your final message for the world about yoga?
Il mio messaggio è quello che lo yoga può aiutare l'umanità a trovare la luce che specialmente prima del Covid aveva perduto. Cioè lo stile di vita pre-Covid si faceva vedere una civiltà che stava decadendo perché erano stati persi i valori.
My message is that I hope that yoga will help us to find light, bright, and I hope that humankind can go back to a brightness that just before COVID has been lost, was lost. Just before COVID, the humankind was going down.
L'umanità aveva sbagliato, e se non cambia sbaglierà ancora, sbagliato gli obiettivi. Ogni politico di tutto il mondo dice che è importante il lavoro.
Humankind was making a big mistake, and if doesn't change his own mind, will still keep on making mistakes. And we have to look for more important things.
Di mettere come primo obiettivo la salute. Quando dico salute, dico che la salute parte dal nostro interno, dalla nostra parte spirituale, dalla nostra anima. Se riescono a capire e mettere la salute per primo, l'umanità potrà recuperarsi, e lo yoga è fantastico nell'indicarci la via.
And just before COVID, the humankind was putting the things at the wrong place. The human, they should remember that they should put at the first point, at the first level, their own health. I'm not just talking about physical health. I'm talking about internal spiritual health. And if the humankind, they will realize that health is at the first point, we may realize and we may get in touch into the real of the nature, the reality of the nature.
Lo yoga è proprio la via per arrivare lì.
Yoga is the right way, the right path to go there.
Great. Amy Blasio? Final message to the people.
Cos'è che mi has chiesto?
Allora, ti ha chiesto qual è l'ultimo messaggio che tu vuoi lanciare alle persone, all'umanità. Un tuo augurio.
È impegnativa la cosa, lanciare un messaggio all'umanità. L'umanità deve trovare il senso della vita.
You ask a tough question to send a message to humanity. Humanity should start to go back to give a sense to life.
Perché il senso della vita non è quello di acquistare prestigio, oppure denaro, oppure non so, il desiderio. Parliamo dei desideri.
Because the sense is life is not just reaching some economical points or some social status, desire. Let's talk a little bit about desire.
I desideri sono proprio quelli che stanno rovinando proprio la società, perché il desiderio è un cercare al di fuori di sé delle soddisfazioni che si possono trovare benissimo dentro noi stessi.
Desires it is what is ruining the world nowadays, as desire is just looking for something just outside ourselves, while whatever we need is just inside ourselves.
È come nelle ciliegie, no? Tu prendi una ciliegia ed è buona, allora ne vuoi provare un'altra perché ti ha soddisfatto. E se non è buona, tu cerchi invece quella che è buona, ti mangi 1 chilo di ciliegie, perché il desiderio non è mai soddisfatto. Mentre invece se tu trovi il senso della vita dentro di te, non hai bisogno di desideri.
Desires. It's just like when you eat cherish. If you eat, for instance, a good cherish, well, you keep on eating them because you like them. If you find a bad cherish, you keep on eating them because you want to find the good one and you never stop. While the real sense in life is just inside. We don't need to look outside.
Great. Appreciate it. We didn't get the chance for Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar to say, because I want to know from his life experience why you made a decision to go to this path. You had to say within 3 minutes. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji. The question is what prompted me towards this path? I guess when I was 10 years old, my role model was my father, who still is my role model. He met with a deadly accident and he died in that accident. So I was only 10 years old. Since then, the lingering question of my life became, is it what we call life? That you take birth, you grow up, you give an exam, you become an officer, finally you get married, you settle down in life, have kids, and one fine day you die. There is more to life than only this. And this question kept on clinging in me. And when I did my MBA, after my MBA, I did MA in philosophy, where I read Vedas and where I read Upanishads and glimpses of ancient wisdom. And there I realized this is what I was actually searching for. When we used to study management, we learned this, that when you dig deep into any problem, you'll find a human. But why that human has committed mistake, management is not interested. Management will only talk about human resources management, train them so that they can work well. But then I studied psychology. What was in his mind that that person did mistake? Psychology gave some answers, but to a point, psychology also could not speak further. Like, for example, why two identical twins from the same zygote has 180-degree opposite behavior after 18 years of age? Psychology doesn't give us significant answer. And then I learned philosophy and it gave all the answers. As Bertrand Russell used to say, philosophy, when I read philosophy, it did not give all the answers. Rather, it raised new questions. The same happened to me also. And the journey continued. Thank you very much, Guruji.
What is your last? We have over 1,000 people are watching. 1,500 people are watching this program. What is your last word towards our people?
My last message will be the message, in fact, I would like to leave the planet also whenever I leave. United consciousness and united being. We are one in our consciousness. And the moment we realize it, life becomes beautiful here also, hereafter also. Thank you.
Great. Now I like to invite Anna to mention about your last message to the people from this event. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Naham Karatam Prabhudip Karatam Maha Prabhudip Karatam Hi Kevalam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It means not I am doer, but God is doer. And this message I wish transmit to all listeners that yoga helped me at the beginning, support my willpower, my effort, and I did very much good deeds, also bad deeds, but I was very active. And later I understood more and more this mantra that it is God who is main regisseur, who guides us, and we should be very happy. And as was mentioned last time, surrender to unknown, to this unknown God. We don't see him, we don't listen often to him, but we should surrender and everything will move upwards. And second practical step, because we are Western culture, so we love practical steps, is that how we learn from one country computer and IT skills, whole world in few years. So now it's time to learn from India psychohygiene. And I wish very much we now in Western countries know physical hygiene, and now it's time to learn psychohygiene.
Great, great.
Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to invite Baba Adnan. Please unmute yourself. Baba. Unmute yourself.
Okay, now I hear you.
Yeah.
Now I hear you.
Yes.
I didn't hear the question you asked me.
We can hear you. You can proceed.
Yeah. Well, okay. I wish and I pray to the world society, if they have not met yoga, they should try to know what is yoga. And the one who has met yoga should practice it daily. They should have a routine every day. This is how we can involve and evolve. Otherwise, to do yoga here and there, 1 week there, it is not the path. If you do it with a routine every day, you will absolutely expose and reach the target. So the one who does not know anything about yoga, I recommend it from all my heart. They should start to do yoga, but not just 1 day, 2 days. They should give themselves at least 6 months to 2 years to realize what yoga can give them.
Great, great. Sudevji from Germany. Unmute yourself here. Your last message.
Yoga means union, harmony, connectedness. Yoga means to strive. Let's all strive for establishing harmony and connectedness. Let's all practice for this connectedness. Let's feel connected with all yoga practitioners. Let's feel connected with all yoga teachers and masters. Let's not get into quarrels, what is true yoga and not true yoga. Let's feel connected. Let's feel connected with all spiritual lineages of all spiritual tradition. Let's feel connected with all social and ecological movements. Let's all strive together for better age and civilization of peace and universal understanding. And let's all feel as instruments of a higher divine force, and we all hope that this higher divine force will help us to achieve this connectedness, peace, and universal understanding.
Thank you, Sudevji. I'd like to invite Dileepkumar Mataji.
Pranam. If I could have one wish, it would be for everyone to be aware of that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, the truth, knowledge, and eternity. Realizing that life is this river flowing through between the two banks of life, of birth and death. And that that there's this ocean of consciousness, and like waves are rising and falling in that ocean. We're in the same way, like those waves in the ocean of consciousness, and need to realize that we're not individual waves, but that consciousness is part and parcel of us. We're part and parcel of one infinite divine energy. The only separation is identification through the mind of nature. And if we can get back to that reality of stable wisdom, realizing that we're part of, parcel of one infinite divine consciousness, that we're part of just one family, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and Kutumbakam meaning this, like this small pot, where this small part of this infinite divine existence. And if we can learn to understand that, realize ourselves, know who we are, then we can learn how to live in peace with each other and harmony. And I'd like to finish with a prayer. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We're all just part and parcel of the whole, and nothing can be taken from the whole. Hari Om Tat Sat.
I'm glad you brought the Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Then I had to sing the bhajan. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Sai Baba used to sing this bhajan very beautifully. This is the way we all are coming here for a purpose. Unity in diversity. That's a part I love about Amadio. Yeah? The first Congress we had, Unity in Diversity, as a caption. I still keep that photo because of memory. We all went through a beautiful time, even though we had a hardship. But for the community, this is necessary. If we have everything is in our life, we never appreciate the beauty of the life. So good to go through the thorns in our life, then we'll appreciate. Definitely, I remember every single masters on this earth who promoted yoga as a divine teaching for the universe. They brought us the theology as Vasudhaiva Kudumbam, we are seeing that now. You see the faces on this meeting. Everybody coming from different path or tradition or a religion. Even you wear different attire, you eat different food. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you are in global oneness or universal oneness. Like Vikrant, this universal consciousness. It is here. You're promoting that part. That's the purpose of this. So you all know this pandemic is going really hard around the globe. Even one of my close friends passed away last day. He had a big vision to bring bigger activities in New York. He was ready to invest money either. Suddenly he got corona from his workers. Then he got the corona. He was in the hospital. Millions of dollars in his hand, but still he cannot save himself. That's the situation happened. 4 months he lived in New York. One of the ambassadors told, "Oh, when you go to New York, call Guru Dileepji. He'll help you." That's why he called me from Europe. And 3 o'clock in the evening, he'll call me. "Oh, Guruji, can you come to the hotel? I'm going to make food for you." Said, "We have a kitchen in your hotel." I said, "Yeah, I made only for you." He cooked food for me. So this is a life. We never know who is next. That's a life. So I want to bring all of you to a place where we start all the activities for the International Day of Yoga. That is the meditation room of the United Nations. I'm going to bring you there for little time to pray for everyone. I know UN can do a lot of things, even though they have their own difficulty to implement things. But in near future, I know it's going to change everything. Like Baba Adnam said, every single child should learn yoga. I'm one of the life example. Entire life I practice one way or other way. Sometimes I practice in 6 hours, Hatha yoga. Sometimes breathing too much. But wherever we go, we keep that beauty of the yoga in different forms. You can have Hatha yoga practice, you can have meditation, you can have breathing techniques, you can have art, music, whatever you can bring to uplift your awareness or a conscious state to the universality. That's the thing you have to focus on. So please move to the meditation room at the United Nations. Thank you, everyone. It was a beautiful day with all of you. Special thanks to Swami Suryananda Saraswati, Mahamandaleshwara Mario Bianji, Mahamandaleshwara Gayatri Devji, Emi Blasio, Dr. Anna, Slovakia, Yogi Baba Adnan, Divya Prabha Madaji, Vagacharya Sukadevji, Amelia and other translators, and Dr. Vikramji, and all the board members of the World Yoga community, and the advisors and volunteers and students from the Amity University, and our faculties of the Amity Universities, especially Dr. Vinarma Sharmaji. And I know two of our board members are here, that is Brother Varnas Rajbhushan and Gabriel Martinez Ramdas, and they all are helping us to put this program. And we'll have same password and the link for entire month. So those who are partners and speakers or presenters in any of these events, they can enter in any day, and last day will be the June 30th. We'll have the final gala. Dr. Nagendraji will be the main speaker, and the one of the undersecretary will be there from the UN. And 21st June Yoga Day will have the director from the UN and the chief of the UN will be there. That is only for the UN NGOs and the committees. They speak. We will join, and if they give us little time to speak up, I'll invite you. Otherwise, I cannot. But last day we'll select some people, and everybody will get a little chance to speak. Because it's our final event. And last 28 years, when I look at the history, we start a small group, and slowly we grow on. Now it's all over the world. We have people, and create the non-profit only for the public activities, not for money making. All the board members, volunteers doing selfless service. We are not paying anybody. We are not gaining any money. Everybody can have their own work. We'll collect some money from our pocket and put it to bring people together. That is our purpose. So if anybody want to say any last words, open for floor. Just let me know. Any students from the Amati, you want to say anything, you can say. Seems like everybody is happy. So we'll do the final prayer. I'll end up the meeting. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Purvarugamiya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridar. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukumiya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridar. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukumiya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridar. Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavadu, Sarvesham Shantirbhavadu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavadu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavadu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pachantu, Ma Gacchad Dukhabad Bhave, Asadoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. See you very soon.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Om Namah Shivaya. Shanti.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be in touch with everyone. Okay, very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Namaste.
Madhu will give you a call. Divya will give you a call. Amy, I'll give you a call. Sukadev also I'll give a call. And Gabriel, give me a call. Okay. Thank you.